It's 2025, a brand new year, and what better way to start it than by looking forward to what's in store for the X-Men this year across the comics, movies, and games, from Marvel Rivals to X-ManHunt and the Eternal Storm, and maybe even the MCU, if we're lucky.
What do they call you? Wheels?
Hey everyone, it's OneWatchX here with a bit of a different video today, and I'm going to start it off by talking about the most expansive area of the X-mythos, and my favourite, the comics. Now recently, Marvel has been releasing a one-shot comic at the end of every year to tease big events and future storylines for the year ahead, and this time it involved Cable and Bishop travelling across time to prevent mutant kind from being erased from existence. Naturally, whilst in the future, they saw a list of some of the key events that happen in the year ahead, and so I'm going to break down the X-related ones and offer some theories about them. But disclaimer, these are all just theories and some of these events might not even happen at all, so don't keep your hopes up for all of them to come true. First of all, we have the Eternal Storm, which is 100% a reference to the storyline building up in the pages of Storm's solo series. At the end of the very first issue, we saw that the cosmic being Eternity had been keeping an eye on Storm and was preparing her to become the Eternal Storm, equipped with an entirely new outfit. Fast forward to the most recent issue, issue 4, where, spoilers, Storm dies for real, but don't worry because Eternity resurrected her straight away and unleashed the Eternal Storm. And I'm sure we'll get to see more of that in the upcoming issues, and it looks like Storm will be meeting with another cosmic being, Oblivion, in the upcoming issues. So Aurora's future is totally cosmic. Next we have Who Waits Within the Last Egg, which is really vague. Now you might be wondering, what has this got to do with X-Men? But the mention of egg immediately makes me think about Krakoa and the resurrection protocols. When mutant kind established resurrection, it involved characters being reborn inside eggs. Now that resurrection is no longer available, it would make sense if there was one last egg, but who would be inside it? My best guess is that it's someone that hasn't been seen for the past few years, so I'm just gonna guess Nate Gray. But if you have any better ideas, let me know down below in the comments, because I could really use some help with this one. Now, galactic leaders assassinated might not seem all that related to the X-Men, but I have reason to believe this is actually tied to the upcoming event Imperial, written by Jonathan Hickman. I mean, for starters, Imperial makes me think of the Imperial Guard, the superhuman defense squad of the Shi'ar Empire, and they all first debuted in X-Men comics and are widely considered to be X-Men characters, so I have a feeling that they will be involved. And secondly, the Shi'ar Empire is currently being led by Xandra, a mutant and Charles Xavier's daughter. If she's dying, this will definitely impact the X-Men, make no mistake. Also, Jean Grey is currently chilling out in space, so I could see the Phoenix herself totally getting involved with a massive galactic scandal like this. Although it's not spelt the same way, who was one of the X-Men's biggest villains during the 90s? Strife, clone of Cable who loves to cause chaos and time travel. Now, major spoilers for a comic that has just come out. Deadpool Wolverine 1 revealed that Strife has returned and will be the book's main villain, so keep an eye out for that. Also, Deadpool got a hold of a vial of the legacy virus, which is a disease that only targets mutants and is 100% fatal and killed so many people in the 90s. So my main question is this just going to be 1995 all over again? Oh, and I'd be careful if I was you, Magic. Ever since the Miss Marvel TV show ended with the reveal that she was a mutant,
Kamala, there's something different in your genes. Like a mutation.
it was only a matter of time before the comics followed suit. And what you know, a year later, Kamala was killed and resurrected to confirm her mutant genes before being thrown onto an X-Men team right when everything fell apart during Fall of X. Now, since her reveal, Miss Marvel's mutant gene still has not activated yet, but it's basically been confirmed that her mutant powers would be her MCU hard-light powers, with Second Genesis implying a rebirth of sorts. I feel like it's pretty clear that Kamala's mutant gene will finally activate at some point this year, even though her inhuman powers are way cooler. Now, just to throw a curveball, I also associate the term Second Genesis with the much better Giant Size X-Men team, as that was the name of their first story. And in the Free Comic Book Day issue of X-Men in 2025, it's been teased that there's actually a hidden secret member of the X-Men that joined at the same time as the second Genesis team. And it's being written by Jackson Langton and Colin Kelly, who are the current writers of Miss Marvel's current team book, NYX. Much to think about.
I've connected the two dots.
You didn't connect shit, but
I've connected them.
Now, just prior to the start of the new era from the Ashes, a mini-series called Heir of Apocalypse took place, which involved Apocalypse trying to find an heir to continue his work on Earth. This ended up being the New Mutant Doug Ramsey, otherwise known as Cypher, who can understand any language, and he subsequently got a terrible makeover and started calling himself Revelation. So it looks like he'll be taking after his creator and having his own age now. To be fair, it is an X-Men tradition at this point. Simply put, XVX implies that we're going to have a mutant versus mutant brawl sometime in the near future. But Wheels, I hear you say, didn't we just have that? And to that, you'd be right, as the Raid on Grey Malkin event saw Cyclops and Rogue's X-Men teams go head to head, but that didn't resolve any of the tension they had between each other. And seeing as X-Men from across the country are going to be chasing down escaped prisoner Charles Xavier in X-ManHunt this March, don't worry, X-ManHunt will get its very own video soon. Maybe round 2 is on the cards. And finally, we have the 3K Gene Bomb, which is pretty self-explanatory. 3K, a new villainous organisation which was set up in the pages of X-Men issue 1, will be using a gene bomb to presumably create more mutants. Whilst there has been a very slow plot in the background, we already know that Cassandra Nova is a member of 3K and that they have been triggering mutations in ordinary people. So watch out for the next stage of their plan, which is Mutant Bomb. So which one of these event teasers intrigues you the most? And what are some of your own theories about what any of these could mean? Let me know down below in the comments and we'll have an entire discussion about it. Oh, and also, as the new Ultimate Universe continues to expand, more and more X-Men characters are being introduced, from Psylocke to Armor to Surge, and now in the new Ultimate Wolverine series, we've already been introduced to Mystique and Nightcrawler, and Gambit and Kitty Pryde will be debuting soon enough as members of the opposition. Again, I'll probably be doing a video on the history of the X-Men and mutants in the new Ultimate Universe in a few months' time, so keep an eye out for that. A24 was a major moment for the X-Men in movies and television, from Deadpool & Wolverine officially adding the X-Men to the MCU, and X-Men 97 arguably being the best adaptation of the X-Men in existence. Now, in 2025, it's quiet, but while there might not be any direct X-Men products planned for this year, there will be some major X-Men mythos being introduced. So, spoilers ahead for some plots of the upcoming Marvel movies this year. So, in the upcoming Captain America movie, we'll finally see the return of that Celestial that's currently sticking out of the ocean. And it's going to be revealed that that is now actually made of adamantium. Yes, that's right, it's going to be made of adamantium. That unbreakable metal that coats the bones of a certain X-Man. Part of the plot apparently involves the US deciding to start mining the adamantium, which will then continue into Thunderbolts, where the main team will be fighting people over said adamantium. Now, this is a pretty major inclusion as it obviously teases the introduction of the main MCU version of Wolverine. But it also implies that Logan has yet to become Weapon X in the MCU timeline. So that begs the question, does this mean we'll see a Wolverine-less X-Men movie? Otherwise, that's really it. There have been some rumours on who Marvel is looking to cast for some of the X-Men, including Sadie Sink as Jean Grey and Wanda Wise as Storm. And while I don't hate either of these at face value, I do want Jean and Storm to be peers, friends, sisters of the same age, as they are in the comics and more recently depicted in X-Men 97.
Make them mind your weather, sister.
And them weather your mind.
If they are going to cast younger, I don't want Storm to be an older character who will ultimately be depicted as a more maternal figure, when she is undoubtedly Jean, Cyclops' Nightcrawler's contemporary. The most recent X-Men casting rumors currently have Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, Harris Dickinson as Cyclops, and Julia Butters as Kitty Pryde. To be fair, I'm not all that good when it comes to casting X-Men characters in movies, so if you've got any ideas, I'd love to hear them. And last but not least, I'm talking about the Marvel video games, which has sort of been a no-go area for X-Men characters up until quite recently, but things are looking up for us X-Men fans in the year of 2025. So I've got to start with the global sensation that is Marvel Rivals, and I have to say, I am completely obsessed with it. For those that aren't aware of what Marvel Rivals is, it's a 6v6 hero shooter where you play in teams against others to win an objective, whether that be claiming an area or transporting a convoy. It also features an original story which involves Doctor Doom and Doctor Doom of 2099 fighting for control over the time stream, which has resulted in what they call the time stream entanglement, which is currently destroying everything. So heroes and villains from across the multiverse are now fighting each other. When it comes to the X-Men, there are currently 6 characters that you can play as: Magneto, Storm, Magic, Namor, Psylocke, and Wolverine. Also, Scarlet Witch, if you still consider that to be X-related. Now, in the story of Marvel Rivals, Krakoa still exists, with Storm protecting Krakoa from the time stream entanglement and guiding it through the time stream to a new home in 2099, with Magneto leading the mutants and starting a new home for all people, mutant or not. Wolverine and Magic also live on Krakoa, and Namor has formed a rocky alliance with the mutants going forward. Psylocke is the odd one out. This is actually Sai from the Demon Days universe set in feudal Japan, and she's been pulled from her reality into the fight. She is neither Betsy nor canon, but someone else who combines the aesthetics of both of these characters. With all of these characters come many costumes. Psylocke's 90s look, Magneto in House of M, Wolverine in the MCU, Magic's Eldritch armor look. You get the picture. And there are many more planned. I mean, the Hellfire Gala looks are definitely coming. Additionally, there is a ton of future X-Men content planned for the game. Emma Frost and Phoenix have basically been confirmed to be released at some point this year, along with the long-rumored Krakoa and Arakko maps. And there are even more leaks, but these should all be taken with a grain of salt. We've got Professor X, Colossus, Gambit, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, Beast, and the ones I'm most skeptical of because they are Z-list characters, Zha Jing, otherwise known as Sprite, and Locus, an X-Force villain who coincidentally enough just appeared in the pages of X-Men issue 10. Just to explain how obscure Locus is as a character, her most recent speaking appearance previous to 2025 was in X-Force 85 in 1998, 27 years ago. Now that is Z-list. That is a lot of X-Men content coming to Marvel Rivals, so watch out for a future video from me where I break down all of these potential characters in the game, their stories, and what their powers could be. Other than Marvel Rivals, the Wolverine game is still in development, but we still don't have an official release date or a trailer or anything really. But I'm still excited as the leaked demo gameplay looked so good. Plus we know Jean Grey is playable, which is so exciting. So maybe this is something for 2026. That would definitely be a video for next year. And that's everything. So what are you most excited for with the X-Men in 2025? Which future stories do you think will come true? Who do you think should play the X-Men in the MCU? And which X-Men character would you like to play as next in Marvel Rivals? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, then make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that you can see more X-Men content from me, because I really do enjoy talking about the X-Men, filming about the X-Men, making these videos for people, and it means a lot when I know that there are people that actually enjoy watching them too. So with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.